Hello, everyone. Get this mini medal that I forgot in part 18. I mentioned it in the description, but I still want to physically show it. Also, purchase some Yggdrasil leaves if you... at least one for each character. If you need to replace some, you have more than enough cash for that. Anyways, welcome back to my 100% walkthrough of Dragon Quest VI. And please welcome our co-host, Skyzo. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Hello, YouTube.
And now, at long last, after all those fights, the bonus dungeon.
Let's see. Should be exciting.
Indeed. And those blue torches, this is actually kind of cool. You'll get a big blue flame for each vocation you've got 5 stars in. You'll get no flame if nobody has any mastery in it at all. And you'll get a small one if you're still working on it. Also, that Mega Monkey Bracer, be sure to give it to Ashlyn. And the Spear of Grakos, I'm going to give to Carver, because this is really super cool. After this fight, I want you to watch, because, Carver is in the Liquid Metal Mind job class right now. That means his HP is drastically reduced, but he gets complete and utter immunity to all kinds of magic and breath attacks. And he also gets a good defense boost, so watch what I can do.
Let's see. And on the torches, it's a strange little attention to detail.
Indeed. Look at these threatening enemies. Look at them!
They're just not doing any damage.
They're not doing anything. And there we go. That's basically how you take care of all the encounters here if you actually want to fight them. Because they don't have the attack power. They don't have the attack power to pierce Carver's defense if you use Spear of Grakos, and he's invulnerable to all breath and magic as well. The only exception is that muscle animal on the right. If they can build up their power, they can attack harder than what the defense cap can handle. Some enemies are just so strong that they can do more than double-digit damage anyway. And Carver only has like 171 HP. So that's kind of the drawback for Liquid Metal Mind, but it's still really good.
You can definitely see that. I would say it's worth it.
Indeed. That said, you have to master the class in order to get the full benefits. If you're just at like level 1, you're reduced to like 60 HP and you don't have any resistance or immunity at all. And like level 7 is just strong resistance to things, but you can still be hurt. Level 8 gives you a 100 point hit point boost, so that you're 171 HP rather than like 71 HP. So you need to master it for it to be really good.
Okay, so anything that's not mastering it is trash.
Basically.
Interesting.
And it takes 300 to master it, so it's a bit of an investment, but totally worth it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Also, in case you're wondering why I'm not editing out the random encounters, it's because I want to demonstrate the latent ability of Ranger. Ashlyn is a mastered Ranger, and Rangers get a bonus chance of running away on top of your regular 50%. I think it's something like you have a 50% base, and then if that fails, you have an 87% chance on top of that. Or maybe it's more like 65%. Either way, it makes it so that we actually succeed in running from every single battle, except for this and like the other one at the very start. So its Max Ranger is also pretty useful. And then if we die, a Mastered Sage can just heal them up to full like that. We don't even need Yggdrasil leaves anymore.
Damn, we are really overpowered right now.
Indeed. Oh, wait, I failed to run from this one too. Now, do you notice something about the dungeons, Skyzo?
Well, I noticed that they seem a little different, like maybe a palette change, but...
Well, what the game is doing is it's reusing assets from various other dungeons you went through along the way. The only changes are the enemies and the contents of the chests. Other than that, it's kind of the exact same.
So this is just a compilation of dungeons that we've already been through?
Yep. It's literally called the Fungeon in all the games that it appears.
Weird.
And now here's basically the checkpoint. Reaper's Peak, as opposed to Weaver's Peak. It's kind of like a dark mirror version of your starting hometown. It's really not that interesting in the Super Nintendo version, but in the remakes, you actually have 3 different versions of the town you can get, depending on which one you choose. You're gonna talk to this lady here after we get a mini medal and an echoing hat. That's the one that lets us cast 2 spells at once. But she can allow you to see the present, the future, or the way, way, way distant future. And the future is actually involves the characters of Dragon Quest IV. And the very distant future involves the characters of Dragon Quest V, including the hero. It's actually kind of interesting that way.
Can I just say that I am in love with the palette of this town? Like, it's so much better.
Of course you can.
Well, not this one. I actually enjoyed the blue grass one better.
Oh yes, that was indeed neat, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Anyways, the Super Nintendo version is just kind of a mishmash of all of the different options that I mentioned, so you don't quite get that variety.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. I'm recognizing some of these layouts, as you pointed out.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, like, when I think back on it, RPGs didn't really do post-game content way back when. Heck, even a lot of PlayStation games didn't really do it. Like even as far as Final Fantasy VIII, which was on the PlayStation, there weren't really post-game bosses. There were optional bosses that you could fight if you wanted to, but it wasn't something you had to beat the game to do. And all of the Final Fantasies were like that as well. Chrono Trigger kind of had a post-game, but it wasn't anything super involved. It was just, hey, what if you beat up that unbeatable boss earlier in the game? How would that affect the ending? Like, little gimmicky things like that. Like, I think Dragon Quest is like the very first one to actually have an option to where, hey, here's a whole new dungeon you can go through if you beat the final boss and want to see more, and I think it's kind of reflected in how it's designed.
I can see that, and when you mention post-game content, what I think of is like the earlier Pokemon games, I believe like Crystal, like the 3 games they had post-game, and that just kind of blew me away. Like, you don't expect like a Game Boy game to have that, you know? Like, especially when a lot of other games just don't have it. It's a recent thing as well.
Huh. That's a good point.
Yeah, like, I think, like, to be honest, the Crystal games, well, I say games, but it's just one game. Well, you get it, but it's like, it's so impressive, you know? Especially since it's like in a handheld, and they actually spent the effort to create something like that. That's crazy.
Especially with how little space they must have had.
Yeah, that's true too. I believe they only had like a couple megabytes, right?
Whatever it was. Anyways, we have all 106 mini-medals. Are you ready to get our ultimate reward for all of that hard work?
I hope it's something good.
Oh, it sure is. Turn that all into him, and you get some sexy underwear! Yeah!
I mean,
That's great, right?
what are the effects that it has in battle?
It has fairly low defense, but if you equip it on a woman, each enemy has a 12% chance of being stunned by your good looks. Yeah, it's not worth it at all. The 90 medal reward was actually way better.
I mean, if it was like a 50% chance, then maybe, but...
Anyways, that monster we talked to in Weaver's Peak, if you didn't talk to him, you wouldn't be able to get those orichalcum things that we just got in the town of Aridia, or whatever it's called. Anyways, get the Echoing Hat on Healy. You want to make Ashlyn a wizard so she can have as much MP as possible for Mega Magic or Magic Burst. And since we got a new Scroll of Draconic Diligence, I'm gonna give that to Nevin so that he has more HP. And other than that, we're about set for the bonus boss. I'm gonna backtrack to where we were, and then next episode, I'm gonna show you how to beat him. Pretty short episode, but, you know, it's a pretty short post-game dungeon.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for the super boss.
Indeed. Oh, and save your game, of course. This is a pretty consistent strategy I'm gonna show you in the next episode, but it's not absolutely perfect. It's about as perfect as you're gonna get without massive level grinding. So with that said, have a nice day and God bless y'all.
Okay, see you, YouTube.